Here my topic Kids Odds. This is my information and I'm starting with who is Keats. The born on 31st October 1795 in London. Keats was the elder of four surviving children. His young siblings were George, Tom, and Frances Mary. And in the 1803, he began his study at a small school in Field, England, and run by a man named John Clark. And April 1804, when he was 18, his father was died because he's suffering from this skull fractures. And in March 1810, when he was 14 years old, and his mother also died in suffering from the tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is a disease to infected of lung, and here the kids family are also suffering from this disease tuberculosis. His elder brother young Tom Tom also suffering from the tuberculosis, and after the poet Keats also suffered from the tuberculosis after he was died. In 1816, Keats became a licensed apothecary, but he never practiced his profession, deciding instead to write a poetry. After he was joined the apothecary in his profession, but after he not accept his profession, and he like the writer something. And first he write inspired of Edmund Spencer, and he's write imagination of Spencer's. And now I'm deal with the kids odes. The some odes are written here. The odes to Psyche, odes on indolence, ode on Grecian on to Nightingale, and ode to Autumn. The five odes are published in one age in 1815. In 1819, he published in five odes. In 1819, he also started to read Wordsworth with whom and like two other young romantic. He developed a love-heart relationship. He's also interested to write us some romantic poets, and his style developed like that had love and relationship. And now I am describe the features. What is the feature of kids write odes? The odes do not tell a simple story. There are no unifying characters. So many characters included mythological, biblical. He is put at the character, but there are numerous suggestive interrelations. Its unmistakable consciousness units them. A personal and psychological progress can be seen here. His odes also show on the psychological and personal progresses, and a movement from impassioned longing for escape to the nightingale is the examples and calm fulfillment. And after melancholy and autumns, here the word. And now I'm deal with ode to Psyche. Kids describe the ode to Psyche, an important departure from Keats' early poem, which are frequently described an escape into the present realms of one imagination. Here he described his own imagination through this write this ode, and Keats' interpretation of Cupid and Psyche myth. Here the kids represent of the Cupid. Cupid is a god of love, god of desires, and Psyche is he also this represent of the Psyche with his beloved. And the poem celebrated the imagination awesome on mystery's creative power. And the one line the this poem odes and pardon that thy secret should be mysteries into your own shell like ear, The speaker say that the please forgive me for singing song about your mystery in your own shell like ears. Here the kids description of his beloveds to the nature's elements. He described the flowers, sky, star, so many symbols, and described the natures through his beloved's love. And the poem uses the power of imaginations to phrase to power of imagination build an inner temple to the goddess of his inner life. Goddess here is the described it of his beloved, and he say to I'm not you're not build your temple, but you are stay with my heart. And he also say that is beloved you stay with always with my heart. And speaker encounters psyche, he's traveling through his own imaginations. And second ode to indolence. Indolence means a laziness. The poem released on a first person narration and break from the structure of the classical poem. A morning spent in idleness. The three figures are presented: ambition, love, and poesy. Here, the first, the speaker are this is a indolence. His personality of very laziness. He not enjoy also he also enjoy your life, but he don't find your ambitions, love, and poesy. It's an never be meet on a real sense. He's also to life spent with very pleasure. He think about life is full of pleasure. But his ambitions and three figures are included: the ambition, love, and poesy. Three are meet against and against, and speaker are ignore that, and the last he find that ambition, love, and poesy are the very strong figures to in your life. But he's not to very losing, he see the looseness and not accept his figure. And contemplation on life and art. The poet realized that he cannot have all three in his life. He is not achieve a three in her life, in his life: ambition, love, and poesy. And another ode to Nightingale describe Keats' experience of negative capability. What is the negative capability? Keats described his letter to his young brother. When he man is capable of being in uncertainties, mystery, doubt, without any irritable, reaching after fact and reason. It means the negative capability is shown that the poet is not mystery, doubtable, not shown his real problem in his own way. And the poem present conflict between reality and romantic idea of uniting with the natures. And poets are also comparison with reality. And the poet also, the speaker also suffer from the morality and immorality and death and life. And then Nightingale described the experience a type of death, but does not actually die. The songbird is capable of living through its song, which is fate that human cannot expect. Is a Nightingale is describing of the songbird. He's singing a song, but now here's the speaker are also suffering from the death and life. He also think about the life was full of unsecure, and he suffering so many problems is. And he's he is can he afford to the death is better than the life because the death are also given the freedoms on all these problems. And end of the poem: pleasure cannot be last. It means a whole life are not pleasant because struggle are most important. Two parts struggle, sometimes you happiness feel, sometimes you sadness. This speaker also suffered that, and that is a part of life. And Swinburne wrote in the Cyclopedia Britannica that the Ode to Nightingale is one of the final masterpieces of human work in all time and for all ages. Swinburne is a very critics and critics. He is the most important critics in English literatures, and he is found that the Ode to Nightingale is a masterpiece of the human work because his work of shown the old time is ages. And conclusions according to Rand Welk, his own personal voice, which should not be drawn in the general romantic chorus. It means it's also shown the worship. He was a great worshipper of beauty, and he's the best figure of the romanticism. And he's right also. He write only own way perspective. In his own heart, and he had shown beauty and truth in his poetry. And thank you. And this is my references.